Welcome. I'm really glad to see you here. Wherever you're joining from, I just want to acknowledge you for taking this time for yourself. Because I know that often we come into spaces like this not because everything is going well, but because something in our life has shifted. And when life falls apart, it can feel like you've lost your footing, lost your identity, and perhaps even your direction and purpose. So this is simply a space to pause, to reflect, and to gently explore what is on offer. So there's no pressure to share, no expectation to have answers. Just take what resonates and leave the rest. So tonight's title is From Darkness into Light. And simply stated, it really just means your desire is not waiting to happen. It already exists deep in your consciousness. And it is actually a learned skill to develop manifestation that actually works. And I've learned that when the student is ready, the teacher appears. I've listened to many motivational speakers talk about manifestation. And finally, just the other day, Neville Goddard's clicked. It was the culmination of all the others that I'd listened to, plus what he had been speaking about. To begin with, we often use incorrect language. I want to be wealthy. I want a relationship. I want to be successful in business. I'll be happy when. These statements keep it all in the future. There is no specificity about it. And according to Neville Goddard, you need to create from what you are right now at this present moment, not what you hope to become. So for me, my aha moment came when he said, stop imagining the future and start remembering it. And I thought, wow, that's impressive. That's a flip on concepts that I've been listening to. So think about it. Memories feel different from wishes, don't they? When we remember yesterday, and particularly things that were really lovely, we don't wonder what happened. We simply know. And if it's a good, happy memory, that's the good happiness feeling that comes over us, right? A memory carries, especially the good ones, certainty, naturalness, completion, and I wonder if there is such a word as comfortableness, because it's just like snug as a bug in a rug. It's there, it's been done, and there's this beautiful feeling around it. Neville's idea is, if you can emotionally remember your desire as already accomplished, the subconscious accepts it as real. I've mentioned before, the picture of the subconscious where it's 90% is subconscious and there's this tiny little 10% at the top. So if we can emotionally remember your desire is already accomplished, the subconscious accepts it as real, amazing. And that's where the emotional shift occurs. In the beginning, many of us visualize from the perspective of not having it yet. And oftentimes it's in the subconscious. We don't even know we're doing it. Man, I was a big example of that. For example, we want more money. We want more money to go on a trip. And so we visualize it. We have the vision board. And sorry, I've lost my train of thought. You want more money. You visualize it and you feel it, right? And you're feeling all of these lovely positive feelings. And then wham, you get a bill. And all of a sudden you think, oh man, not another bill. Where am I going to get the money to pay for this from? And another example is in my current health journey, I found myself saying, whoa, I am just so exhausted. And here I am visualizing optimum health, vitality, being, strong, fit and energetic like I was before cancer. And wow, I'm saying to myself, I am exhausted. And I thought, goodness gracious me. I needed to rephrase that. I need to flip that and say, it's time to recharge. So subconsciously, this is hanging on to the don't have scenario, which blocks the flow. And so the subconscious continues to experience, well, not yet time, hang 10, relax. So let's move into the actual process. We are going to imagine living after it has already become the normal. So we imagine what it is like already living in that new house, for example, you want. Walking through it. For me, I live in my dream house. Walk through it. It's big, it's large, it's spacious, it's open plan. There are windows everywhere, and I just adore as I walk through the various areas, looking out into the paddock and seeing sometimes my horses, my cows, my goats, whatever animals happen to be around. And there is this absolute deep satisfaction of having achieved what I wanted to achieve, living in this beautiful big house that I have designed. We imagine, for example, if it was a partner you wanted, imagine doing things with your partner. What sort of things would you be doing? Going on trips, having picnics, eating out at nighttime at delicious restaurants, having the time to just savour the evening and relax in each other's company. Enjoy every single moment of being that person with the partner, enjoying doing those experiences, the joy, the shared experiences together. Why? It creates a feeling of settled certainty, normality, and it's an emotional completion. And in fact, the manifestation is no longer exciting. Now, that's interesting, isn't it? So manifestation is no longer this exciting aspiration. It's your norm because it has become part of your identity. It is who you are. And this is the feeling Neville Goddard was pointing to. It's the part that matters because people often can mistake manifestation for the need for intense excitement. But he talks about the calm assuredness of simply knowing. And it's a really interesting feeling because I've had a journey of the manifestation. And this is so true for the point where I'm at the moment. It is just a calm assuredness of knowing that it's going to happen and stepping into the person who is that person in the future, living it now. So he talks about the calm assuredness of knowing the naturalness, the calm certainty. Of course, it's done and dusted. It's happening. That settled knowing. The feeling of manifestation is often quieter than people expect. So a couple of years ago, it was my dream, my goal, my desire to ride in the strenuous, arduous, mountainous ride in the Man from the Snowy River Festival. And I thought, right, take some action, get into this, make it happen. So I rang and spoke to the lady and she said, you had to apply way back in April, but I can put you on the waiting list. Yes, put me on the waiting list. This was September-ish. And so I thought to myself, I really want to do this. What can I do to facilitate this? What can I do to tell the universe that I am really serious about this? So I started training. Now, it wasn't like I had a plough draft horse. I've got a Percheron cross, and she's designed to carry a knight in shining armour at the gallop across miles and miles, acres and acres of fields. So I started training my magnificent mare. And then I thought, what else can I do? I can buy a ticket to the festival, because if I don't get to ride, I can at least go to the festival and see what it's all about. Well, lo and behold, as I'm riding, training, visualising, doing this ride in the mountains in Victoria, look, I think it was 4 to 6 weeks, and this waiting list at the length of your arm got shortened, and there was an email to say, you've got a place on the ride. I was ecstatic. It was just an incredible feeling, because it was so concrete, the path. It was just a concrete example, yes. So when you truly remember something is done, you stop obsessing over the how. I put into place as much as I could put into place, started the training, and through that training was just being that person, participating in the ride. So you stop obsessing over the how. The universe takes care of that. You stop trying to take control of every single little step. So, you map out the pathway, and then the universe designs steps. The universe provides various opportunities for you along the way. And you stop panicking about the timing. What I have learned is there's my time, and then there's the universe's time. And more often than not, we do not match. And so that too has been a journey of just stepping back, letting go, letting God, let the universe work in its own natural timing. Because memories don't require effort. You simply know. That naturally creates detachment from the timeline, the method, and the path. It doesn't mean that you don't plan around those things. It just means that you detach from the specificity of the dates and of the specificity of those particular concepts. And often that is when people finally relax enough for change to occur. So a different example is desiring to go on a trip. And you think, I'd really like to go to such and such a place. And then you open up your bank account and look at your bank balance and say, well, that's not going to happen this year, is it? And I love examples like that, because it reminds me constantly of one of my favourite little books, Wallace Wattles' The Science of Getting Rich, where he talks about the whole manifestation and looking at the person you are becoming, you want to be, totally disregarding your current situation. So, for example, you're wanting to go on this magnificent trip and the bank balance says, no, not this year. Start to think about, what are some things I can do, I can put in place for this trip to happen? It might just simply be in-depth research as to what time of the year to go. What sort of things will you need? A visa or a passport or what? All of those little things. And gradually, as you start this process, and you're becoming that person, you are living the experience, opportunities arise, opportunities open up, and you see different pathways. Again, even my little example of, visualizing my return, my health. I can see myself, I am strong, fit and healthy, and do all of that, practice that. And then sometimes during the day, I've found myself saying, I'm so exhausted, which I am. So, we're not refuting the fact of what is, but we just simply need to rewire our brain, reframe it. So instead of saying I'm exhausted, I'm now saying, oh, it's time to recharge my batteries. Go and have a rest. So when we emotionally move into the feeling of fulfillment, our decisions, our energy, our confidence, our body language, and our perception all begin to change. So reality starts reorganizing around the identity we are embodying. We notice different opportunities. We begin to respond differently. We stop operating out of fear. We begin to operate with confidence. We become available to possibilities that we have previously blocked. So let's have a little quick practice run through. Get into a safe, comfortable position and gently close your eyes. And choose one desire. New house, new job, new partner, a trip, whatever it is that you're desiring. Right, so close your eyes, take a nice deep breath in and let that breath out slowly. Now just imagine it is already the norm. You have that desire. You are walking through your new house in the suburb that you desire to be. The house has everything that you have written down that you had desired. Spaciousness, lovely neighbours, beautiful views, parks nearby, the size of the rooms, the number of the rooms, the type of the floor, the kitchen that you desired. You're there, you've got it. Whether it's the new job you were wanting, a partner, a house, a trip, whatever, you are there and you are enjoying it. You are that person who did all the work to achieve this. So you're there, you have it. How are you feeling? What are you doing? Walking through your new house, interacting positively with new colleagues. What is that successful person you are? What are they doing? Savor it. Enjoy every moment of it. Hang on to that feeling. And now gently come back to the now. So as you lie on your bed tonight, let that be the last thought and feeling you have before drifting off to sleep. It's a good idea to set your alarm so that you do it several times throughout the day. I do it 3 times, morning, noon and night time, but I still have my alarm set. For example, the last thing at night, as I've just mentioned, the first thing in the morning before your feet even touch the floor, visualize. Go back, do the feeling. You are that person who has succeeded, who has achieved that goal. Feel it. It's important to not only remember to do that, but to also be aware of catching any of those old habits of the wrong use of the wrong language. E.g., I'm exhausted, not another bill. This is just such a simple, repeatable, powerful method. I love it. Maybe the life you desire is something your consciousness is learning to accept as already possible, already real, already available, despite the current circumstances. My gosh, that was so important for me because when I first started on this journey straight after the divorce when I had very little to my name, it was really important to visualize that person who had overcome all of these obstacles was now successful and enjoying a successful life. It was an incredible journey, and so I teach this with real conviction that it is possible. You know, let me just repeat that. Maybe the life you desire is something your consciousness is learning to accept as already possible, already real, already available, despite the current circumstances. So if tonight's message resonated with you and you're ready to move beyond survival mode and begin consciously rebuilding your inner world, I invite you further into the space of Thrive and Shine. Like and subscribe. That enables the channel to grow and touch the lives of even more women. Or you can connect with me through the Thrive and Shine Collective, where we continue these conversations around healing, mindset, personal transformation, and becoming who we were always meant to be. Or you can connect through my website, and the link is in the description. Remember, you don't have to do this alone. You don't have to walk the journey alone. With heart, Margarita.